Your next stop is En Passant.
Stand.
Dubai. That this is like bringing history back to us. Isn't that awesome? Thank you, Dr. Derek. And we have our. Thank you so much. You came back to us as requested. Keep smiling with one another, with each other on a regular basis. And you thought you were going to be a stranger. No, everybody. We're all connected one way or another. Brother Tim Ferguson, and as an inspirational group today. Thank you, Brother Tim. We appreciate you. Welcome. And the mic.
Thank you, Queen McCormick. Thank you all for the honor. And what I'm here to give to you guys today is something that I believe that draws us even. We all come when we all come together. There isn't anything that we cannot do. And my way of I've learned is being able to do this organically. And so Dr. Ford asked me to come back on to talk about specifically associated to the motivational gifts that will come from within of us. He's from involved in business, as I've learned to see where each one of the gifts play. Building a team, building a system, who's the most ideal candidates that are available to fulfill. That is on this call are very high profile in their backgrounds. As I know, we have and so as many individuals where we have, who are wearing many hats right now, and a lot of that has come to learning many new things. Learn many new things. These new strengths we develop do not overcome the natural talents from. One of the things that we've have could be because of the way we've because of the way we have been brought to identifying ourselves, thinking about it, we can all draw back to childhood, siblings, and the comparisons we hear. They're telling us everything that we do wrong, and not a big balance on the things that we do good. Most of the part, as we grow, as we age, we typically try to avoid looking in the mirror because we don't like what we see. We see failure. Forced to look at the big picture, which is seeing everybody else around us. And when we look at everybody, tend to compare ourselves as to ourselves to them, and others trying to, look at their strengths more so. We really compare ourselves looking at others' idiosyncrasies. On the bottom of I see their problems or I see their challenges. I kind of feel a little this problem or that problem. And as a result, we go into, but we have this, we fulfill things with this lack of satisfaction inside because we still feel empty. And what I want to have come to show is looking at changing the trajectory of how we see ourselves, that not only construct the things we construct. And so when it comes to the gifts, there are 7 personality types. gifts, but 1 to 2 of them are what I would consider makes up our primary motivations. And these gifts, we can say, oh, I'm like my father, I'm like my mother. It's DNA. They can stem from generation to generation. B is specifically for a purpose. And as I said, there's 7 personality types, or what I like to call this in the structure of a business. There are about 7 business systems that comprise. And is really amazing about the gifts is each one of these gifts play a specific role in the business sector. And if we're able to identify the gift within ourselves and then the gift within other people, in addition to their position people in places where they're going to naturally thrive at. And in this case, removing the probability of a fish, break down these gifts, and I like to break them down, comparing them more. Not to say you didn't have it before, but even more. Do is when it comes to the gifts, is I break them down. There's 4 and 3 non-speaking gifts. And what I mean by that, I don't mean that the non-speaking gifts don't speak, just to speak. And this is what I call the perceiver, the exhorter, and the administrator. All right. If you guys are taking notes, you can take notes on these as we write. When it comes to each one of these gifts play a role in the business sector. So perceivers can, and then you have what we call the exhorter. The exhorter is a gift that contrasts of that of a perceiver. An exhorter sees all colors. This is the individual who has the gift of gab. They know how to be good. When it comes around, socially, they like to talk. They can talk to just about anybody. They're typically they know how to take a crowd that might be a bit tight. They know how to loosen them up and warm them up by where the strengths of these gifts are one thing, and each gift what I call idiosyncrasy. I don't like to say weaknesses because there's a negative connotation when it comes to weakness. Develop strength in it. So I like to call it idiosyncrasies, and why I call it idiosyncrasies is because strengths in other areas and other gifts, and and that leaves room for the other gift. So human resources and sales. Well, when it comes to these particular areas, perceiver, HR, and exhorters are the best when it comes to sales. And I'll tell you why. They hate it. It's horrible. They can't, they never want to do it. And you have those who are exhorters, they get into HR. I kind of give you some examples, 2 gifts in a place where they're naturally going to thrive or when they're efficient. A perceiver and an exhorter, and you put them in a room and you say, okay, guys, I need you to network. I want you to go talk business cards. The perceiver, the first thing perceivers are ultimately going to do is they're going to go and they're going to survey the room. They're going to look around at everybody to talk to. Whereas the exhorter, on the other hand, is going to look at the room and they're just going to go bingo and shake hands with everybody. Okay, perceiver, how many people did you meet? The people out of 50 people, I talked about 15 people. And the exhorter may say, oh, hey, I talked about 45 people and I got about 35 leads. And my performance compared to his is terrible, and they feel bad about themselves. But in reality, it's not to feel That's the position that you're in is not a position where you naturally thrive. Now, putting it now when we put the sources, and we're saying, hey, listen, exhorter, we want to hire this E and E qualifications in order to be hired. Great, awesome. The exhorter is going to bring their nice, and they're going to ask them questions, or they went to school together and have some things in common. Really like you, qualifications, but I think we can make this work. And they hire him in. To new hires and getting interviewed, they like talking with exhorters for that very reason. A second. But now let's talk about that same perceiver. When we put that same perceiver in the room to now say, hey, listen, the perceiver is going to ask some questions, get to know them. They might, again, find out, oh, yeah, one another. But when it comes to the qualifications, if they don't meet all of the qualifications, the perceiver is not going to hire them. That, we want that is because when you bring somebody into the business who's not qualified for the role, you're going to compromise. Performance is the main objective of that determines the success of our business. Hinder performance in some matter. So we want to make sure that we bring people in who are effective to business versus human resources. Other parts with that, when it comes to things that you want to form around the business, perceivers are great about that because they're able to see things. Two other gifts I would talk about will be the teacher and the compassionate. Okay, the teacher is also, so this is the emotions on their shoulder. What's wrong with them? And they're telling you, oh, my puppy died. You're like, I don't see why you're crying about it, but compassionate people there. You don't have to worry about on your side with the compassionate person hearing all of this and then getting mad and cussing them out. Nature of wanting to help. They're very good when it comes to empathizing, being the best of what they can do to fix the situation. Next, we have the administrator and the server. These are gifts that play operational roles. Both of them work together, but are individuals who are natural delegators. This is the individual that to give instructions. How you're dealing with the administrators is you can always, in the corporate atmosphere, you can recognize there's a lot of clutter all over the place, but you just happen to know where everything is at. And to where if somebody but in the business sector, administrators are really good at management positions. They're really good at being team leaders. They're natural delegators. They really don't care how the job gets done. They just care about getting the job done. Now, you might 100%. That's why we have servers. Servers are what we would say would contrast to give. Servers like to take on projects long term, but rather than delegating the work, servers like to do the work. This is the administrative role. They're going to show themselves as being counterproductive because they're going to go behind everybody and redo it. That we want a strong, productive leader, and we want to have solid producers that the leaders having a having a conviction in their work. They want to make sure that it's done. To be administrators don't want to be servers. You don't have to work. Great pair. And great. Now, the last role personality type it's that I would talk about is the giver, a contrasting gift, because it should be in all of our hearts to be a giver, but we all can have a heart to give. We all have to, compassion. They have a heart to give. Those who is their ability to manage money and to. But this is the individual who knows how to make the best of what they have. And so shopping, they will spend a few extra weeks shopping for what they want, getting it for a very low price. Many of us will go and we'll look for things and we'll say it, oh, it's cheaper, but it's not as good. But I'll doing the extra work, and they find it with the quality for a cheaper price, and you're like, no, I just did it. That's the benefit of it being a gift. And so when it comes to them being frugal, managing, because manage it for the most part, and they're very big and they can give, and they give big and bountifully at the when they have it. In a business setting, where does the giver fall in line? Or any kind of services, you got to shop for these products and services, correct? Well, in what we call procurement. So when it comes to shopping for products, looking at providers, looking resell, or and with the who's a really good team in the back office when it comes to HR and accounting, whereas you have a really but you might have found yourself relating to. You might say, hey, that sounds like my sister, that's my kid, and the objective is it's not to see the gifts to see this person and how they can help me, but it's to see the gifts to change the trajectory of how we see things. Remember what I said from the very identify with the gift. It's a paradigm shift occurs when we actually. And when I'm able to see myself and I identify, when I'm able to see myself and I identify with, what, I have a strong gift in being a teacher. I have a strong gift in being on myself. And guess what? Because I see value, and then also what happens is when I don't care to see their flaws, I care to see their strengths. Where I'm looking at someone that said, I wonder, he sounds compassion. And from there, I'm able to then what you call gauge expectations, because and when others don't see things in the way we see it, we fight or interview people. They already have the natural ability to do that. All you have to do is teach them the role of job, and so it makes your job. It makes the training much easier. Makes things 100% better. Guys, I know that I want to give more time for Dr. Ben. This segment, I'm going to follow up with this with part 2 next week, where from of you guys taking notes, and you guys taking notes, and you guys having some questions, some feedback, some comments, and some answers.
More. This is so good because something you have to listen to somebody else speak and girls, and they will just. It has to be on my terms, at my own price range, and within my reach. Even if it's something, I say, okay, when I'm able, I'll go for it. And I've had to negotiate I feel that they're duping me, and I keep shopping until I find the right one. I never thought of it until you have offered to do this for us, as well as coming back to finish part 2. Thank you so much. All those that you've touched and you're touching deep dive, we appreciate you very much.
Thank you
Dr. T, to us, Dr. T, please proceed.
Only the best for a deep dive. Only the best. And I just want to thank you, Tim, for just giving us these nuggets. I've heard this message, that this message will be a plethora of information and inspiration to this platform. But I wanted to say about this message because I think all of you who listen, you recognize now, if you're in a place and you're feeling dissatisfied, I think that Tim answered that question, misplaced. An administrator, or maybe you should be somebody that's compassionate, when you try to, people will put, like, for example, I know because I have so much education, people automatically want to put me, you find yourself feeling like, like I don't feel comfortable there, but I'm there because, I have a degree, because we're not in a position where we're operating in our gifts. We have not been taught this. Tim has a book out. And Tim, if you get a chance before we leave the platform, do you mind putting the it can see that book? And I would encourage all of you to get this book. Thank you so much for sharing these nuggets. About you coming back next week, and we really do appreciate you. Thank you again, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're the best. No, we do the best for Deep Dive and all the other sister platforms. Tony and Brother Tim, do not forget to put the your book in the chat, so follow up can look it up, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. And as always, Mr. Tim, you to have heard this presentation before, and I can never get tired. Encourages me. It makes me realize where. And I always tell Dr. T, you should be having. I know earlier in my business life, I was always around to classes like that. And I think that you just clean up, because there are under, and a lot of it had to do with their employees not having to come together. Knew this information, I think it would have made a big difference. And I think Hartman had been around since 1890, be earlier than that. And a few years ago, they closed. They had closed their doors, and the their employees were disgruntled. They went on strike and refused to come back. And it was, it had everything to do with also they had known what you just ministered, that it would. And I look forward to next week.
Thank you so much. off to come back and finish part 2 of this next week. And you might have heard him, but for us, this is I don't think I'll have enough. I already researched your book. I know where to find it, and I know how interesting the topic for today is. Thank you. Welcome, Queen Violet. So good to see Canada in the house. Queen.
Good evening again. Good evening. Amazing, amazing, amazing King. That topic was off the chain. You hear me? Because it helped us to recognize, like you said, like when you was the giver, and then I'm like, yes, and the compassion, so you're like, you could be, like he's saying, but is the one that projects the most within each and every one. Because more from you, but I have heard you teach and speak. In Dr. Tanisha Ford up class. Okay. So and you're an amazing person, me, and I'm so glad to have us and empowering us with your message and your teachings. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank him for bringing each and everyone. Extraordinary CEO, because if it wasn't for him, you and I would not be here this evening, this morning. I would say extraordinary mindset. I mean, you know your stuff. What something that you talk about, giver. What makes it to make the best out of it, to buy things in the low price? You bet I am that well. Cheaper, but I help. I manage my money. This I would love to do that too. I would love to boss around, but thank you so much. And you have made us to understand that you'll be here next week. Because Queen, thank you so much, Brother Timothy. Thank you. We appreciate. Thank you. We appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. See you next week.
Thank you.
Wow. Dr. Benny. Brother Naga, Nigeria or India today?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Thank God. I'm in Nigeria now.
Okay. At 2 a.m. as well. Please, if you have any doubt about who she is, listen to her share with us how to stay safe in every aspect. And today, usually I'm not her. I'm just going to call on our sister, the First Lady of Unpassive, Dr. Benny, in
really understand, and you know that sometimes I don't really give you guys the topic. I noticed that there is no need for me to present Unpassive, but I noticed that by me presenting security, it has helped a lot when it comes to hackers. Hackers are doing everything. Queen Dr. Nadu, and to go to her website. UPM. Remember, I always tell you guys that. All right. Do you know that The UPS people now, they're putting their, if I wasn't Dr. Nado know about it, although maybe even though she knows she's a smart girl, emitted from smartphone, tablet, wearable, right? And other portable devices. So it addresses what the threat. It also addresses vulnerability. Is I talk about weaknesses, right? The attacks with the unique to the mobile computer, mobile technology for personal and professional communication, as well as to employees. Employees often use these devices within businesses' network. It has become what? More critical than ever for every business. This or the maturity level. Just give me a minute and I am going to share you my screen. Thank you all. I believe I'm not a co-host, Queen Debbie. So
You're not?
no. So
Just read it then.
yeah. Wow. Right.
Unfortunately, I'm on.
It's okay, Queen Debbie. Okay. No problem. So mobile security is a component of an overall digital security, which is to protect portable devices such as smartphone and tablet. There is an increase in trust on mobile technology for personal or professional communication. Mobile security could expose what businesses, both employer security, involves protecting both personal and business related information stored smartphone, tablet, laptops, wearable and portable devices. Portable aspect, right? Such as data protection. When it comes to data protection, you have, it prevents unauthorized access to sensitive information on a device, such as personal details, photos, banking data, and business email. By implementing voice, a risk. Now let's talk network security. Important. They have the flexibility to work from home. There are a lot of companies that sometimes they try to deceive others, like, okay, you get the job, turn around and say you cannot work from home. A lot of people want to work from home because it's relaxing, rather than just sitting. Remember what happened with the pandemic. A lot of our brand ambassadors or work were afraid to go to work. A lot of people died during the pandemic, but some of us, as many as in 2021
Recording
survey,
in progress.
And according to an IBM cost of data breach report, in 2022, the average total cost of data breach comes to 4.35 million. Now the cost was 1 million more if the breach involved what? A remote working as a factor. Mobile security, financial loss, loss of customers' trust, because if things have been missing, so a lot of customers, they will not really trust your company at all. That you are not your CEO is not really your company. That is why I keep telling people that security is very, very important, not only within us, but in every organization, despite the fact that some of the CEO, they try to be stingy. They don't want to spend money when it comes to security. You have data breach, right? Mobile devices often have access to sensitive business data. So if these devices are what? Compromised, what happened? Due to malware, due to phishing, remember I told you guys about phishing, right? Physical theft, this data can be exposed. It will expose the data of what? The employees. Such breaches can lead to what? Financial loss and damages a business reputation. Right. So I just want to discuss a little bit about the top 5 threats to mobile security. Mobile security threat pose a substantial risk to businesses, potentially leading to data breach, financial losses, decrease in productivity. Moreover, these threats can erode customers' trust and invite legal repercussion if data protection regulation are breached. Therefore, businesses must prioritize mobile security within their what? Cyber security strategies. Why? In order to protect their asset and also to maintain trust. All right. So this top threat, we have malware and viruses. Mobile malware and viruses are malicious software designed to infect mobile devices without the user's consent. So this can range from what? Trojan and disguise. They will disguise themselves as legitimate apps to spyware that silently gathers sensitive data, right? Then you have viruses that can corrupt or delete the data and in fact, also take over the basic functions of the devices. Now, we keep talking about the phishing attacks, right? Phishing attacks often comes in the form of what? Fraudulent messages or emails that aim to trick users like you and I in order for us to reveal sensitive information such as what? Password. As you all know, we keep talking about password, right, Queen Jacqueline? We keep talking about password. Now that unpassive is back again, please be very careful when it comes to your password. Make sure, if you can, if you want to listen, that every 90 days you change your password, especially those of our brand ambassadors that they are utilizing their cell phones. I do understand that 90% of our brand ambassadors are utilizing their cell phone, especially those in Cameroon and different countries. The reason is because they do not have laptop, right? So they only have to use their cell phone. And the unfortunate thing is that some of them, they have forgotten their password. They don't know. But if you do forget your password, guess what? The first thing is to find out from yourself, yourself that ask yourself, which phone did you use to create that particular email? So if you know the phone number and you have it with you, then it's easier for you to just say forget password, right? And because when you say forget password, now let's give an example. Your phone number ends with 56. So Google will give you 56, but you should know that your number ends with 56, right? So when they give you the 56 now, you just have to complete the number, and then they will provide you with a code. And when they give you that code, it's always 6-digit. Use that 6-digit in order to recreate your password, right? So we have mobile device theft. Physical theft of a device not only result into the loss of a device itself, but also the data stored within it. Now, if the data is not properly secured, it could lead to significant privacy breach. Yes. Let's talk about a best practice for mobile security. As businesses like our company, as I said, security is very important to own passive. As businesses and their employees navigate the vast digital landscape utilizing the mobile device, it is very crucial to implement the measures that will guard against potential security threat. These proactive measures, known as best practice, are simple yet effective strategy to enhance the mobile security. They range from maintaining the update software to users' awareness, each playing a unique role in creating a comprehensive shield for mobile security. Yes. So let's explore this best practice that will help in order to minimize the risk of breaches and to protect your personal and professional data. So let's talk about regular software updates. I have been emphasizing to each and everyone that, especially those of us that are utilizing our cell phone for everything, an update is always sent to you and I through the manufacturer. Always please update when it comes. It seems as if sometimes some of us are sleeping when the updates are coming. Make sure, even if you wake up, do something. Try to update your software. Try to update your computer. Ensure your mobile operating system and all apps are updated regularly. Updates often contain security patches for recent threat and vulnerability. We should always, as I said, especially those utilizing their cell phones, there's always patches coming up. Please, the reason for it is because sometimes some of our cell phones or things that are happening, they're weak. That's why they talk about the vulnerabilities, right? Let us try to click on that update. Use of strong password. Remember, I just talked about the password, right? And the two-factor authentication. Now, it implements the strong or unique password to all your accounts. It's very crucial. You have to enable the two-factor authentication for an extra. You're doing it for extra security. We have encryption. You use encryption for sensitive data in order to protect in case of thefts or loss. Encryption converts readable data into unreadable code that cannot be easily deciphered by unauthorized. So when we talk about unauthorized, it's because the person is not authorized to touch any or to to even log into the system. If you're not authorized, why are you doing it? All right. Now, another thing is for us to install the apps from the trusted. Remember our CEO, sometimes they want us to install apps, right? But you have to wait. Listen to him first, and he will tell you where to go to install any apps when it comes to our application, when it comes to all Connect, all Tracker, and the rest, right? So installing the apps from trusted source. If it is not trusted, do not install it. So only download apps from reliable sources, such as Google Play Store or Apple App Store, and check the user's review and permission before what? Installing it. Now you have regular backups. There's always a backup. In every organization, you have the database administrators, right? That they always back up all the data from that day. Every day they have to back up all the data. So regular backup of your data is very important. Now, if your device is lost or compromised, you will still have access to your important information. Now, using a reliable security apps, by installing that reliable installing app, it will provide a real-time protection against the malware, phishing, and other threats. Awareness and education, very important, right? Stay informed about the latest mobile threat and how to deal with them. Education is one of the most effective defenses against mobile threat, mobile security threat. In conclusion, mobile devices are being increasingly used on businesses' network to access business apps. That what? It contains what? Critical business data. Now, to safeguard against the security breaches via mobile devices, mobile security solution must be an integral part of any businesses like OnPassive overall cybersecurity strategy. Employees within OnPassive, employees within any organization can also, or they need to stay informed no matter what. Stay informed and follow the best practice to ensure what? A secure digital experience. Considering the criticality of consequences, it is important for businesses like OnPassive, the federal government, state government, financial institution, the health, to prioritize mobile security in their overall cybersecurity strategy. Why? In order to protect their assets, in order to ensure business continuity, and to maintain customer trust. Seriously, today or this evening, if no one has ever said anything to you this morning or evening that they love you, I, DrBenny in Tinglet, love you all with all my heart, mind, and soul. And just to let you guys know that OnPassive is owned by our Heavenly Father, but He handed over, or He chose one person. This important individual, I will say, he is our extraordinary CEO. He accepted the callings and he made this statement: either I do or I die. He is here to eradicate poverty and to uplift humanity. That is his main goal, to make you and I happy. Are you guys excited about OnPassive? We are here also to protect our company when it comes to cybersecurity. Thank you so much for listening. I love each and every one.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Thank you. Thank you. I am really, wow. I would say I am wow because you share so much without holding back. And it's with, and always with passion. Outstanding. Your presentations every week, it's so unique. There's none that is similar to another. This is another unique one. We appreciate you as always. Queen Violet, I see that your hand was up. I will unmute you. You can go ahead, Queen Violet, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good evening.
Okay. Good evening. About the updating your data on your phone. Every time I do it, my phone goes screwy. It does something that I can't figure out. And I mean, I do update it, but then it takes, well, no, sometimes I don't even figure it out. So now what?
When you have problem like that, do you call? Can you call and communicate with the manufacturer?
Okay, I call like the equivalent of Bell or Rogers, and these people, they have to go look it up and try and find stuff, and half the time they don't know because they have so many different products that it's. I did talk to a Samsung person on an island somewhere, and I got a lot of information from him, but I can't remember how to get hold of him. So yeah, no, it's very irritating.
I know, but you know, sometimes when you call those people from the so-called island, I know that a lot of them are in India, seriously, because most of our businesses have been shipped
Yeah,
over
no,
there.
he didn't sound Indian, and I think he was in one of the Caribbean islands. But yeah, I used to answer phones for Epson printers, and it ended up that it got shipped out to the Philippines. So you know, they can pay them less and get the same work done.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so yeah, and but this is Samsung, so I'll research more and
Yes,
find out.
so when you call them and whatever information they give you, if you could please write it down and also do your research as well.
Yeah.
Which you said you're going to do it now. Thank you so much. We
Yeah,
are all
you're
learning. Yes, please.
Yeah, that your ending at the end of your presentation was very precious when you said, if somebody hasn't told you that they love you, I love you. Because that is, you choked me up. Anyway, have a great evening.
Thank you, my dear. I love you. To tell the truth, I would say I got this information from Queen Lerato Shadare, right?
Okay.
She always said that. So I am going to say I love you also with all my heart, mind and soul, because there is no need to fake it. I love you.
Thank you. Love you
You're
too.
welcome.
I can't wait till I meet you.
Don't worry. I will embrace you when I see you.
And I'll squish you to death.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much, Queen Violet.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us always, Queen Violet, and thank you, Queen Benny, for letting everyone know how much they are loved and cherished. All right. Anyone else has a question for Dr. Benny or comment regarding the presentation?
Well, I don't know where to raise my hand, so I'm jumping in, Queen Debbie. Just
Of
to say
course.
to Dr. Benny, Queen Dr. Benny, that's an amazing presentation, like always. And thank you for bringing that information to us, because without your information, we would not be able to help ourselves or help others. And your web presentations have been really and truly helpful to us, to me, myself, and where I can help other people by passing that information on. So let me tell you, keep on bringing it. It's very educational. Okay, and thank you so much for loving each and
Yeah.
every one of us from
To
your very heart.
raise your hand, you go to reactions.
Okay, thank you. I go to reactions, but I don't see a hand. It say play chime and recognize hand gestures.
Oh, wait.
And
let me
that's
see.
about it. I don't know what kind of
Reactions.
computer I have
At
anymore.
the
I don't know
top,
what's going on.
there's a raise hand and then send with effects, whatever. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Thank you, Queen Violet.
You're welcome.
Appreciate.
Good night. Goodbye.
Thank,
Whatever.
thank, thank you, Queen JW. I appreciate you. I'm glad that whatever thing I am teaching you, the little knowledge that I have, you're able to share it to some of our brand ambassadors or family members who don't really attend the webinars. To tell the truth, Queen Jacqueline, there are a lot of hackers out there. And now that unpassive is back, unpassive is back. Watch and see. Watch. People will be calling you or our brand ambassadors and crying. Those who are not attending webinars, because a lot of our brand ambassadors, their main aim is just for the dollars. And if the dollars is not there, they're complaining. You understand? When the time comes, I don't know if they will see me again. Thank you. Queen Nancy says, wow, Dr. Benny, extraordinary presentation. I don't know if anyone got something for me, but I appreciate this kind of information because I have never changed my password. I changed it for the same password. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, Queen. I am blessed to have this information for free. God bless you for what you do, sis. Wow. That means you have never changed your password. Queen Nancy, please do so. Thank you so much. I love you. So Queen Debbie, I don't see anything on the chat again. You are muted.
Thank you very much, Dr. Benny. You present, you're manning the chat, you're doing this, you're multitasking. That's what we call dedication. And Queen Nancy noticed that as well. Thank you, Queen Nancy. Thank you to everyone who has commented. And Dr. Benny, we appreciate you. Anyone else has a comment for Dr. Benny? If I don't see any person unmuting or asked to be unmuted, I'm going to call on our one and only brother Tim Ferguson to give us his final word with that awesome presentation, and we look forward to seeing him again next week. Brother Tim, are you with us? Can you give us your final word and thought for your presentation today, please?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. My final words, awesome presentation. As I say, it's unity when we all come together. Teamwork makes the dream work. Dr. Benny, that was some amazing, fascinating information, especially in the world that we're living in that is being taken control over with AI and computers. And I just fascinated with the camaraderie that everyone has coming together here. And like I said, my hopes, dreams, and desires is to see movements like this come together and make matters happen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brother Tim. Unity, unity, and unity. And Dr. Bennett, you heard what Brother Tim said. Don't worry about who is coming to webinars and who is not. We all have so many phases in our lives. Some people, it's easy for them to multitask and navigate things and go back to their daily lives, and others cannot. So it's just like our fingers are not the same. We still have to take them when that time comes and they come back. We'll take them with open arms and walk along with them, because from what Brother Tim presented earlier, you have some people who are like that. It's we just accept them and move along, and everything will fall in place. And that being said, says thank you so much again once more for your outstanding presentation. Please, your final word, and then we move on.
Certainly. Mobile devices are being increasingly used on businesses' network to access business apps that contain critical business data. Now, to safeguard against the security breaches via mobile devices, mobile security solutions can be an integral part for any business overall cybersecurity strategy. So employees, what I would like to say is that employees will also need to stay informed when it comes to education, right? Let them stay informed to know what is going on within the company as well, and follow the best practice. So when you follow the best practice, it will ensure the secure digital experience within any organization. It is very crucial to stay abreast of what is happening. And again, when it comes to password is critical. We should make sure that you change your password every 90 days. Do not bring the same password. Change it every 90 days. Make sure you change the special characters, right? Let me say the out sign or dollar sign. Change it. If it was out, now change it to dollar, right? Or to ampersand or to percentage. Like every 90 days, just change it so that those hackers will not know what is going on. Thank you so much. Again, I love each and every one with all my heart, mind, and soul. Thank you, Queen Debbie, for this opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Derek, as well. I love you all.
We love you, Dr. Benny, and thank you. All those tips, we'll have to make sure that we remember. And each time I'm changing my password, believe me, I hear your voice in my head giving me the tips, and I always change the special characters. If everything else remained the same, the special characters I always alternate and change. Thank you for always reminding us on what to do. And most of all, thank you for always being here with us on a regular basis. And at this stage, I'm going to appreciate and remind our viewers on YouTube, if it was still on, because I think it got disconnected at one point. But if anyone has their YouTube open and is still working, I just want to say we appreciate you all for joining us today. And we hope that you'll join us again, same day, same time on Thursday, because Deep Dive is every Tuesday and Thursday. But we have other forums that we work together with. Starting on Monday, we have Queen Miriam and Mindset Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Tuesday and Thursday, we have Deep Dive. On Wednesday, we have Julie Pierre Empowering Humanity, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And Fridays, we have Yvonne Mundi with One Global Movement. And Sunday, we have Dream Team. But I have to backtrack for Thursdays because we have we have a deep dive in the evenings, but in the mornings, we have All Passion Malaysia, Singapore in the morning at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So those are all the webinars that we work with under the umbrella of Unpassive. So thank you for those who are watching on YouTube. and those who will be watching or listening to this recording in the future. We appreciate you, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye for now. At this stage, we're going to call on our Queen sister who handles after party. That will be Queen Nadu. She'll be doing the after party today with Dr. Benny and or Brother Bishop Carroll.
He's here. Yeah.
Okay, Bishop is here, so Dr. Benny will be Thursday. Okay. All right, awesome.
Thank
Welcome,
you very
Queen
much.
Nadu. Over to you, my darling sister.
You're welcome. Yeah. Sister Jacqueline, I heard you earlier, but my mouth was busy, so I want to present my apology for not answering. Yeah.
Oh, Queen Nadu, before you proceed, I was going to say my condolences to Queen Feather King, who lost her brother last week, but I'm no longer seeing her here.
That's hard.
Yeah, so I saw, oh, well, next time when she's with us, we'll let her know that we just send our individual condolences to her. We hope she
Great stuff, guys. Great stuff as always. Great stuff.
And you're welcome, Queen Nadu, Dr. Queen Nadu.
Yeah. I was saying that during the greeting, you called me, but I was not able to answer. So I apologize for that.
Oh, that's okay. Apology accepted.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Great stuff. You guys keep the stuff going.
Yep.
We're feeding our minds. It's okay.
Thank you, Dr. P.
Hi, Dr. P.
You know, last time
I saw the shades. I saw
my
the shades.
people thought it was you.
Dr. B, I saw the shades.
Did you notice what happened on a Friday Night Live? It was my shade showing.
I saw that.
Wow.
I will keep it up, my dear.
I saw that.
Mama mia, I love it all.
I picks you like the star.
I believe it.
Miss James Bond.
Expedia members get member prices and rewards for future trips.